There he is.
There he is. Greetings. How are you? Greetings. I'm Bonzai Caruso, and I currently reside in Las Vegas. Lived most of my life in New York City. I've been a recording engineer, producer, and songwriter since I was 18 years of age, about 40 plus years now. And I live in the recording studio 80 hours a week, and I love it.
Nice. So when did you start producing professionally? When you were 18?
No, I was an intern at a recording studio in New York City at the age of 18 after I graduated the Institute of Audio Research in Manhattan and got a job in a studio called Secret Sound Studios where I was paid $5 a day. I worked about 90 hours a week, slept on the couch, and I had a room at the YMCA because I had $50 in my pocket.
Wow, that's rough.
It was good. It all worked out.
Well, that's good. So who would you say you're most inspired by?
Oh gosh, just great producers. And at that time in my when I was just learning engineering and recording techniques and microphone techniques and things of that nature, I was really inspired by, producers in that era of sampling and making beats. People like Trevor Horn, who was originally with Art of Noise, went on to produce Owner of a Lonely Heart, the Yes album with them. And since then, he's done all the Seal albums. He's also done Grace Jones. And I was just a big follower of his production techniques. And he was a big inspiration back in my early days.
That's really awesome. In terms of like musical artists, who would you say you're really inspired by? Like Elvis, Johnny Cash, who would you say like in terms of musical artists?
Oh gosh, there's so many. That's a tough one to answer because it's over the years has evolved. Like in my early days, I was really inspired by Neil Young, The Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Yes. Um, and then fast forward to more recently, producers like Stephen Marley, who I've been working with for 25 years now, is a huge inspiration to me. We worked really closely together on many, many records for many years. So he's a big inspiration, and he's a super talented songwriter, producer, and artist.
That's really awesome. So, I know you're kind of into the reggae thing and you worked with a lot of the Marleys and stuff like that. What would you say is like your music style? Like when you're producing, what style do you like to produce the most, I guess?
Ooh, it's I try to how should I say this? I'm trying to define and develop my own sound constantly. It's always evolving, and so much of it has to do with the song and the artist. What are we trying to convey here in terms of the message of the song, the feeling of the song? Is it happy? Is it sad? Is it deep and thoughtful in terms of lyrically, or is it like a novelty, fun, ridiculous record? I mean, so I approach each one stylistically. I let the song tells me what to do. Right? Basically, the lyric and the melody tells me what kind of a beat, what kind of a bass line, what kind of guitar parts, piano parts, keyboard parts. All of that is influenced. To me, it's almost a spiritual thing with song.
By the way, thank you so much for coming on our podcast. I know
Oh,
you're a really busy guy, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do an interview with me because, I watched you guys work and it was like magic. You guys were awesome working with you, it was very
oh,
smooth.
yeah. You're mentioning Elevated Roots and Elton and the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. I love working with those guys. They're so much fun. Randy and everybody. They're just amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So, what's the favorite project that you've ever worked on?
Oh, geez, I've been blessed with so many. I don't know. My God, that's a tough question to answer because I really feel very, very blessed. There's so many projects that I'm really proud of. I mean, more recently, the Mortimer album is amazing. Mortimer from Jamaica. Uh, I spent up over a year on his album. I think it's just 11 or 12, 13 songs, I forget. But that record, it came out late last year, or early this year, late last year. That album, I'm very, very proud of. And yeah, I was just. Uh, are you asking in terms of my favorite, like in what way? Like you like fun or like
I mean,
challenging?
just like,
Because
something that you were really, really proud of, or something that you worked really hard on. You're like, you know what, this is my best work. Like, just any project you've ever worked on. What would you say is like your favorite? Like, something that comes to mind when you think of like the most awesome project you ever worked on, would 100% work with those people again. What would you say that is?
oh geez, definitely anything with Stephen and Damian Marley, Distant Relatives with Nas and Damian Marley. That was an amazing album to work on. I mixed the entire album. Uh, yeah, NECA, back in the day, I did a record with NECA called My Fairy Tales that I'm really proud of. Um, Stephen Marley's albums, Mind Control, Revelation. Um, yeah, those are like my favorites. The new right now, there's the new Fortunate Youth album that just came out, which I'm really proud of. They're just starting to drop singles. The album isn't out yet. I think it'll be out later this year. That's a great fun album. Those guys are fun. Yeah, so the Movement. I got a few tunes on the Movement's new album that I participated in and mixed a few of those songs, which is really great. And they just dropped the first single, I think, last week or a week, 2 weeks ago.
Nice. So, what would you say is the thing that you struggle most with in your career, in your life, just in general? What's the thing that you feel like you struggle the most with?
Just I love a challenge. I guess I struggle with just pushing myself, just getting better and getting better every day, and the challenges and just making records sound the best they can, making songs sound the best they can. I push myself to do better with every record, every song, constantly. Um, that, and it's just like trying to have a balance in life of not working so much and have enough time. Like I'm a cyclist, so I do mountain biking out here in the desert every day. I go for a 10, 15, 20 miles a day on my mountain bike out in the desert, and that keeps me focused. So it's having that balance. I love to cook. I'm a chef. I love cooking. I cook every day, and it's just maintaining those balances. Otherwise, I'll just be in the studio like nonstop, which is great.
Yeah, I get that. You're just like a workaholic, like you just can't sit down.
No. Oh, it's sleep is another big thing. That is elusive to me. I typically work till 4 or 5 in the morning every night, but I'm up at 10. So I'm not really sleeping a healthy amount.
I get that. I mean, even if I do go to bed at a decent hour, a lot of times, especially because it's so dry out here in Albuquerque, it's probably that way in Las Vegas too, where it's dry. And
Very.
so I'll drink like a bottle or two of water before bed. And so as soon as I go to bed, I have to wake up 4 or 5 times a night to go pee because I just chugged a bunch of water because it's so hot.
Yeah, but it's good. You have to stay hydrated.
Yeah. So, what would you say is your favorite band? Not necessarily that you've worked with, just in general. Like, if you have to listen to like one band, you know what I mean? You have to pick one band that you really could just listen to over and over. Who would you say it
Got
is?
there's so many, but if I were to have to say one, it's not only the band, but it's also the time period. And I would have to say the Grateful Dead, hands down. But the Grateful Dead from 1970, 71 till about 85, 86, before the hard drugs kicked in. They were really great. And I just love the Grateful Dead during that time period. After 86, 87, 88, 89, they got kind of sloppy, in my opinion. Although I saw them perform live like 75 times. um, but I'd have to say they're my favorite.
Awesome. Do you take a lot of inspiration from the Grateful Dead?
Yeah, I did in my early days, sonically, just getting balances and tonality for guitars and drums and bass. But not just them, other records as well. Yeah, I drew inspiration, creative flow state, kind of just go with the flow, don't really have an agenda and just see how things happen. let things unfold and let things come together and just, try ideas. We the term, throw spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. Like sometimes when I'm producing a record, I'll just throw in the kitchen sink. Well, lots of percussion, lots of keyboard parts, lots of guitar parts, all these parts, and then just take out what's not necessary. And when the magic happened, oh, that's it. That's the magic. Get rid of all the other stuff we were trying. We were trying all these things, and then all of a sudden, boom, there it is. Okay, utilize that one, delete the others. you know.
Yeah, I totally get that. Well, and sometimes, you want to throw in the kitchen sink, and it's good to like, I always say, it's good to like take one thing off. Like if you have a big outfit on, if you have two hats on, take one hat off because it's like you don't need two hats. You know what I mean? It may add to the style a little bit, but at the same time, in other ways, it could be taken away. So I totally get that kind of having to take one thing off and like kind of, make it more like raw and pure sometimes, especially because like sometimes it is good to add a bunch of different stuff and you want to add all kinds of effects, and then you're kind of like, nah, I don't know about that, that's too much.
Yeah, but it's through that experimentation and just messing around with stuff that you'll just stumble upon something. It's like, whoa, that really works really well. Well, definitely the new Fortunate Youth album. They're starting to drop singles. I think two of them are just been released. I think every 3 or 4 weeks they're dropping a single, and then the whole album will be coming out later this year. That's an amazing project. Same goes with The Movement. That album, The Movement, they're starting to drop. They dropped the first single, which I mixed. I think the second single is coming out next week. Deep Blue Sea. And yeah, so those are two I'm really excited about. Protege, I'm really excited about as well. Yeah, and the Elevated Roots record, we have a second single in the works that I'm almost finished with Elevated Roots that'll be coming out later this summer. I'm super excited about that. It's a bomb. It's a bomber. It's so good.
All right, first question: what is Freddie Mercury's real name?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
For
Oh my God, I love Freddie Mercury. He was amazing,
right,
but huge fan. What's his real name? I can't remember. I don't know.
Faroka Bulsara.
That's his real name?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
he was I think he was
Interesting.
like East Indian. What was that? He
Interesting.
was a what was he like a Zion? Zoroastrian. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he was from the Middle East, is because like his family was from the Middle East, and so that's why that big old overbite, and they settled in the UK in Europe.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why that big old overbite too. He said that it made him sing better. That's why he
Yeah,
never wanted to get it fixed.
that's correct. Yes, I know about that. And he also it was some interesting things about the how should I say this the shape of his skull of his just Rez had this unique thing that's found in African genes. I was reading an article about it.
Interesting. All right. So, what singer has had a Billboard #1 hit each of the last 4 decades?
A number one Billboard hit and the pop charts. Just
Yeah,
phew,
for the last 4 decades.
the last 4 decades. Oh my goodness, that's
Since
a good
the
one.
80s, right? Yeah, since the 80s.
So we're talking
It's a
people.
female.
Okay, I was gonna say Madonna, Lady Gaga. Hold on.
You're on the right track.
Yeah, one of the Beyonce. No, she wasn't around that long ago.
Think like early 90s pop stars.
I give up. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mariah Carey.
Ah, good one. Yes, I had the pleasure of doing a song with her. It was fun.
Nice.
She's amazing.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure she has a pretty good range.
Certainly does. Oh my God, when she would hit those high notes, I'd be like, I thought she was hurting her vocal cords. She's like, no, I can do it all day long.
That's awesome. Alrighty. So, which member of the Avengers had a brief stint as a pop star?
I don't know any of the members of the Avengers. Sorry.
That's okay.
Then
So,
I've been out of touch with things.
it was Brie Larson. She was Miss Marvel. I mean, I watched her. I liked her in Scott Pilgrim. I thought you have you ever seen Scott Pilgrim?
No.
You haven't seen Scott Pilgrim? That's a good movie. It's basically like a video game musical. It's really good.
Oh, I'll check it out.
Yeah, if
Thank
you
you.
haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. It's really good. Something like that. I figured you'd really like that. The music is really interesting and complex.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. So, what rock icon was the founder of the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Long-Haired Men?
To long-haired men. I thought you were going to say cruelty to animals.
Oh, no,
Um,
to long-haired men.
gosh.
It's a male, and he was big in the 70s and the 80s.
Jackson Brown?
No,
No, not Neil Young.
no.
Oh, I know who it is. Oh, I know who it is. I can't. I can't. Uh, who did On the Road Again?
No.
Okay, I give up.
I'll give you a hint. He had a very not so private fling with what was his name from the Rolling Stones? Mick Jagger.
Oh, not David Bowie.
Yeah, Steve Bowie.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I didn't
he
know that.
started a foundation called the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Long-Haired Men.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Had the pleasure of working with him a couple times. He's amazing. Oh my goodness, I never knew that.
Yeah, he died of cancer. What, like, it's been almost 10 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm actually booked with his bass player, and I are doing a record next week. The
Awesome.
guy who played bass on his last album,
Nice.
Timothy.
Was that for Lazarus?
Yeah, that was his last album. Yes.
Nice. That was a really good one. I listened to all the music, and then Michael C. Hall did like some kind of tribute to him right before he died, and he said it was like one of the most nerve wracking things he's ever done is performing Bowie songs for Bowie.
Oh wow, I can
But
imagine
he
that.
was so
Of course.
good. Michael C. Hall was awesome. He really has a good Bowie voice. He's a good Bowie impersonator. So, who is the only country artist to have a top 20 hit on the Billboard Hot Country Songs for 6 straight decades? So, since like the 60s and 70s. It's a
Don't
female.
really, I don't really follow country music that
But you
much.
know who this is. You know who this is.
Shania Twain? No.
No, for since like the 60s and 70s.
Oh, okay. We're going way back. Ah, oh gosh. Dolly
Who's,
Parton.
yes, Dolly Parton.
I got one right.
Yeah, she's had a top 20 hit on the Billboard country charts for 6 straight decades.
Good for her. I love her. She's beautiful. She's wonderful.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I like her writing style and stuff. She's
Yeah,
really authentic.
yeah, great humanitarian as well. Okay.
So, which place on the planet would you never want to live and why?
Jesus, the North Pole because it's too cold. I
Yeah,
like the heat. I don't like cold.
it's understandable. And there's nothing going on there. If you could be any celebrity, who would it be?
Keanu Reeves. I'm just picking it out.
He's a pretty cool dude. If you could listen to one song, like it, like you didn't have to listen to it constantly, but like if you could only listen to one song and that was the only song you could listen to, like what song would it be?
Oh gosh, my brain's gonna fry. Because there's so many. Oh my God, one song, Dark Star.
Nice. Would you kill one innocent child to heal the world's diseases forever?
Oh gosh, I would never kill a child. That is a tough one to answer.
Well, yeah, but like, let's say it
I
was really
mean,
peaceful, and it's like you just had to make a decision. Like, if you kill this kid, then it heals the whole world because they have like some kind
yeah,
of immunity.
yeah. If the kid was me,
If the kid was you, like only if it was you, like if you had to
Yeah, if the kid
self-sacrifice.
was
Okay.
me, yeah.
If you could go back in time and give your parents advice before you were born, what advice would you give them?
Okay, well, I only had a single parent. Um, to give my mom advice before I was born, oh gosh, buckle up.
Were you a
It's
problem
gonna be
child?
a wild ride, Mom. Sorry.
Were you a problem child?
No, I was not a problem child at all.
Well, that's good. If you could start a secret society, what would be its goals and who would it include? Alive or dead?
A secret society,
Uh huh.
like kind of like just like an
Yeah, what would it be for? Like, would it be for animal humane rights? You know what I mean? Something like
oh
that,
yeah,
or
it would
or whatever. You know, it
yeah
could be
yeah
just because you want to.
world hunger
Okay.
food is a I'm Italian, so you love people you feed. I love people, I feed them.
Okay.
Food is love in the Italian culture, so
So you'd have a secret society to stop world hunger.
yes.
Well, so who would it include? Alive or dead?
Oh, who would it include? I mean, in the society?
Hmm.
I could think of a lot of people, but
Like top
like
five people that
you,
you would
I mean,
include.
celebrities are like friends of mine,
Just either one. It
or
doesn't
both.
matter. It doesn't
Oh
matter.
gosh, I don't
Just whatever.
know.
Like top five people you think would really get that done. Get like solve world hunger.
Oh, Lady Gaga, Stephen Marley, Seal, uh, who I'm a big fan of. Seal and I were born the same day, same year. Um, uh, right, those you wanted five. There's three. Oh gosh, David Bowie for one. You mentioned his name earlier, and Barack Obama.
Nice. So, what kind of movie or TV show would you make if skill or money wasn't an option? Like, would it be a reality TV show? Would you do like a crime drama, cooking show?
Oh, cooking is definitely one. I would no, I'm more of an musical, inspirational, kind of like The Voice or America's Got Talent, but goes the extra mile in terms of making it just authentically real and not set up for the cameras, just very genuine and you know, yeah, just real inspiration with a group of really successful, talented producers, songwriters, engineers to inspire kids to, get better. And yeah, that'd be that kind of a show. Final thoughts. I'm Bonzai Caruso, and thanks so much for having me, by the way. Yeah, things to look out for coming up and coming projects or Protege's new record, Fortunate Youth, The Movement, Elevated Roots. Yeah, those are the first ones that come to mind. The Mortimer record, which has been out now for a little while. And have a listen to that, and yeah, those are all really, really amazing projects.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being on our podcast. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun working with you guys. You guys were so much fun to work with. It just felt very easy. It was a lot of fun. There was no pressure. I really enjoyed working with you guys. You guys are really professional, and I really appreciate that because it's hard to find people who are fun and professional.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's true, and thank you for mentioning that, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it because you're so awesome. Like you really are a force to be reckoned with. When I watched you producing and stuff, it was like, I mean, it was amazing watching you and your partner together. Like you guys were like a symphony. It was really great. And like I said, I really appreciated the professionalism and like how high quality you guys wanted everything. Like you guys were really awesome to work with. So thanks so much for coming on the show. Hope to see you soon. Let me know when you're in town. We should hang out. You're awesome. And
Oh, great! Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
well, thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate you. I hope you're having a great day and, keep working, keep doing what you're doing because it's really awesome. I've seen your work and I'm really like blown away by it. You're just such an awesome producer. Yeah, I hope you're doing great. Try and stay cool in that Las Vegas heat.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Too.
Thanks for
Sure.
coming.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching our weekly podcast. If you have an interesting story or topic you would like us to cover, please email us and check out our website at mnzproductions.com. We are supported by donations, so please donate to our Patreon, GoFundMe, or Cash App listed in the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.